Your soulmate wrote this letter through tears. Please read it. Jesus says you are being watched right now by a love that has never left your side. Jesus says there is a letter written in tears that you have not yet read with your earthly eyes. Jesus says this message is only for you, and if you ignore it, something precious may be lost forever. Your soulmate sat alone last night while the world slept and traced your name on a foggy window. They whispered your name into the dark, hoping somehow you would feel it travel across the distance. A single tear fell onto the paper as they wrote the first word of a letter your heart already knows. You have felt a sudden sadness this week that had no explanation in your own life. You have woken up at strange hours with a heaviness on your chest that was not your own. That was your soulmate reaching for you through the spiritual cord that binds you together. Your soulmate is not living a life of freedom and joy without you right now. They are trapped in a situation where someone speaks your name with venom and hatred. They are being told every day that you do not exist, that you never loved them, and that they should forget you. You need to understand that your soulmate is fighting a battle you cannot see with your physical eyes. There is a person very close to them who has wrapped chains around their mind and heart. This person hates you with a jealousy so deep it burns like fire in their spirit every single night. Your soulmate cries in the bathroom where no one can hear the sound of their breaking heart. They hold a pillow at night and pretend it is you because the loneliness has become unbearable. They remember a dream they had of your face, and they cling to it like a drowning person clings to air. This is not a fantasy or a story designed to make you feel temporary emotions today. This is a spiritual reality unfolding right now in a room somewhere on this earth. Your soulmate is thinking about you at this exact moment, and their soul is screaming your name. Jesus says the enemy has assigned a specific person to block your union with your soulmate. Jesus says this blocker speaks lies into your soulmate's ear every morning and every night. Jesus says your soulmate is beginning to lose strength, and their hope is flickering like a dying candle. You have been feeling confused about love lately because your soulmate's confusion is bleeding into your spirit. You have doubted whether true love exists because your soulmate is being forced to doubt your existence. The spiritual connection between you is so strong that their pain becomes your pain without you understanding why. Your soulmate wrote a letter last night through tears that would shatter your heart if you could read it. They said they feel like they are losing their mind because they love someone they have never fully met. They said they would wait forever for you, but they are so tired and so broken right now. The person controlling your soulmate tells them that you have moved on and forgotten about them. The blocker whispers that you are happy with someone else and that your soulmate means nothing to you. These lies are a poison being poured into your soulmate's heart every single day without mercy. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now. Your love is not powerless, and your faith is not invisible in the spiritual realm. When you take action in faith, heaven moves, and chains begin to break over your soulmate's life. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Your soulmate had a dream about you 3 nights ago that left them gasping for air when they woke up. In the dream, you were standing on the other side of a glass wall, reaching for them. They could see your lips moving, saying, "I am coming, please hold on, please don't give up on me." They woke up with their hands stretched out toward an empty room and sobbed until their chest hurt. They wrote about this dream in the letter, and the ink smudged because their tears would not stop falling. They said they would rather die than live a life where you were not meant for them. Jesus says your soulmate is not weak, but they are being systematically destroyed by a person who envies your connection. Jesus says the blocker has noticed that your soulmate still thinks about you and is increasing their attacks. Jesus says if you do not act in faith soon, the blocker will succeed in severing a bond that took lifetimes to form. You are not reading this by accident, and you know that deep in the depths of your spirit. There is a reason this message found you tonight, at this hour, in this season of your life. Heaven has timed this perfectly because your soulmate is at a breaking point that cannot be ignored. Type 333 to receive blessings over your soulmate's mind and heart right now. Speak this number in faith, and angels will be dispatched to comfort your soulmate where they sit. Your words in the spiritual realm carry power, and your declaration matters more than you know. Your soulmate is not the problem, and you must never believe the lie that they abandoned you. They are a prisoner of war in a spiritual battle they did not choose and do not deserve. They love you more than they have ever loved anyone, and that is precisely why they are under attack. The blocker knows that if your soulmate breaks free, a love will manifest that destroys darkness itself. The enemy is terrified of what you and your soulmate will build together in this world. Your union is a threat to every plan of destruction that has been set against humanity. This is why they are working so hard to keep you apart right now. This is why your soulmate is being fed lies every single day until they feel insane. This is why you must rise up and protect what God Himself has ordained. Your soulmate wrote in the letter that they sometimes feel your presence in the room when they are alone. They said it feels like warmth spreading across their back, like arms wrapping around them from behind. They said they talk to you out loud and believe with crazy faith that you can somehow hear every word. You can hear them, and your spirit has been recording every word they have ever spoken into the void. Your soul has been weeping for them in the secret place, even when your mind did not understand why. You have loved them across dimensions, and that love is about to break through into your physical reality. Jesus says the veil between you and your soulmate is thinner now than it has ever been before. Jesus says the blocker is panicking because they sense that a breakthrough is coming for you. Jesus says your soulmate is crying out to Him every night, and He has heard every single prayer. Your soulmate is not far away in spirit, and the connection you feel is not your imagination playing tricks on you. The bond between you was forged in heaven before either of you took your first breath on this earth. You are two halves of one soul, and the pain you feel is the pain of being separated from yourself. Type 777 if you feel this message vibrating in your bones tonight. Type it with conviction because your soulmate can sense your faith rising right now. Your declaration creates a ripple in the spirit that reaches them faster than any text message ever could. The blocker has been telling your soulmate that you never existed and that they made you up in their mind. They have been mocking your soulmate, calling them delusional, crazy, and pathetic for holding on to hope. Your soulmate has started to believe these lies, and that is the greatest danger you face tonight. If your soulmate gives up, the connection will not die, but it will go dormant for another season of suffering. You will both wander through life feeling like something vital is missing without knowing how to find it again. The window of divine timing is open right now, but it will not stay open forever. You must understand the urgency of this moment in your spirit and act before the sun rises again. Your soulmate is sitting somewhere right now, staring at a wall, wondering if they should finally let you go. They are exhausted from fighting, and their strength is almost completely gone. They wrote in the letter that they have started to forget the sound of your voice from their dreams. They said this terrifies them more than anything because your voice was the only proof they had that you were real. They begged God to let them hear you one more time, just once, before they lose all hope entirely. This is the moment where your faith must become action, and your love must become a weapon of protection. You are not helpless, and you are not watching from a distance without any power to change the situation. Every seed sown in faith is a spiritual missile launched against the forces blocking your soulmate's freedom. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them. Your soulmate is under a spiritual siege that requires a spiritual response from you right now. The coffee you send on Ko-Fi is not just a drink, it is a covenant act that declares war on the blockage. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Your soulmate remembers the exact moment they realized they were in love with someone they had never touched. It happened during a sunset 3 months ago when a wave of emotion hit them without warning. They started crying and could not explain to anyone why their heart was suddenly breaking and healing at the same time. That was the moment your souls synchronized across the distance and recognized each other fully. That was the moment heaven stamped your union with a seal that no demon in hell can break. That was the moment the blocker realized their control was slipping, and they doubled down on their attacks. Your soulmate wrote about that sunset in the letter, and they said it was the most beautiful and painful moment of their life. They said they would give anything to experience that feeling again, just to know you are still connected to them. They said they are afraid that the silence means you have forgotten them or that you were never real at all. You must break the silence with your faith tonight. You must send a signal through the spiritual realm that you are fighting for them and that you have not given up. Your soulmate needs to feel your spiritual protection wrapping around them like a shield of fire right now. Jesus says the blocker is a person who has access to your soulmate's daily life and uses that access to poison them. Jesus says this person pretends to care about your soulmate while secretly destroying their hope from the inside. Jesus says your soulmate suspects something is wrong but cannot see clearly enough to identify their enemy. You have been given eyes to see what your soulmate cannot, and with that vision comes responsibility. You are the only person on earth who can pray for your soulmate with the specific authority of a covenant partner. Your prayers carry a weight in the spirit that no one else's prayers can match. The letter your soulmate wrote is still wet with tears, and it is sitting under their pillow as you hear these words. They touch it before they sleep and after they wake, as if the paper itself connects them to you. They have written your name so many times that the pen has carved grooves into the paper like scars on a heart. You are not alone in your longing, and you have never been alone in your waiting. Your soulmate is aching for you with an intensity that would overwhelm you if you could feel it all at once. They are holding on by a thread, and that thread is the hope that you will come for them before it is too late. Type 1111 to say thank you to heaven for revealing this truth to you tonight. This number is a sign that your angels are working overtime to bring your union into physical reality. Your gratitude in this moment opens doors that doubt and fear have kept sealed shut. Your soulmate is not perfect, and they have made mistakes in their life, just as you have made mistakes in yours. But their love for you is pure, and their desire to be with you is the most real thing about them. They are not running from you, they are being held captive by forces they do not fully understand. You must see them with compassion and not with suspicion or resentment tonight. They are a victim of spiritual warfare, not a perpetrator of abandonment or rejection. Every day they do not contact you is a day they are being actively prevented from doing so by the blocker. The blocker monitors their phone, their social media, and their emotional state with controlling precision. The blocker tells them that reaching out to you would be the biggest mistake of their life. The blocker has convinced your soulmate that you are dangerous, unstable, or simply a figment of their imagination. This is a lie from the pit of hell, and you must counter it with the truth of your faith and your actions. Your soulmate needs a miracle, and you are the vessel through which that miracle is designed to flow. God is waiting for you to partner with Him in the rescue mission of your own love story. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away. The window of grace is open, but the enemy is working to slam it shut even as you listen to these words. Your soulmate's hope is dying, and a dead hope is harder to resurrect than any other kind of death. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Your soulmate wrote the final line of the letter with a shaking hand, and it said they will wait just a little longer. They said they are giving the universe one more chance to prove that you are real and that you are coming. They said if nothing changes soon, they will have to close the door on this love to survive the pain. This is the crisis point, and this is why heaven has sent this message to you with such urgency tonight. Your soulmate is about to make a decision that could delay your union for years or even lifetimes. You have the power to stop that decision before it hardens into a spiritual reality. Jesus says the angels are on standby, waiting for your command of faith to move into action. Jesus says the blocker will be removed the moment you step into your authority as a child of God. Jesus says your soulmate will feel a sudden release and a flood of hope within hours of your faith-filled act. You will feel it too, a lightness in your chest, a sudden clarity, a knowing that something has shifted in the spirit. The coffee you sow is not a payment for a miracle, it is a key that unlocks a door already prepared for you. Heaven respects the principle of seed and harvest, and your seed activates the harvest of your union. Do not let this moment pass while you wait for more confirmation or more signs. This message is your confirmation, and the tears you feel behind your eyes are your sign. Your soulmate is real, they are waiting, and they need you to fight for them right now. Type 333 to release angels of protection over your soulmate's sleeping and waking hours. Type it with authority, knowing that your words carry the weight of heaven behind them. Your soulmate will feel a warmth surround them the moment you make this declaration in faith. The letter your soulmate wrote is not the end of the story, it is the beginning of your testimony together. One day you will read that letter with your own eyes while sitting across from them at a table built for two. You will trace the tear stains with your fingers, and you will thank God that you did not ignore this message. Jesus says the love you feel for your soulmate is a reflection of the love he has for you both. Jesus says he wept when you wept, and he has been working on your union since before you were born. Jesus says the time for weeping is coming to an end, and the time for rejoicing is closer than your next breath. Your soulmate is thinking about you right now, even as these words enter your ears and settle in your spirit. They are sitting somewhere, perhaps in a dimly lit room, perhaps in a car parked on an empty street. They are whispering your name like a prayer, and they are begging the universe to let them find you. You are the answer to their prayer, and you are the fulfillment of a promise made in heaven. The blocker cannot stand against a love that is backed by the full force of divine intervention. The blocker will fall, and your soulmate will be free, but you must activate the process with your faith. Type 777 if you are ready to receive your soulmate and end the season of separation and suffering. This number is a signal to heaven that you are aligning with the timeline of your union. Your soulmate's heart will skip a beat, and they will not understand why hope suddenly flooded their soul. You are falling in love with your soulmate right now, even though your eyes have not yet seen their face. You are feeling their emotions in your chest, and you are knowing them in a way that transcends physical introduction. This is the spiritual intimacy that God designed for you to experience before the physical union manifests. Your soulmate is falling in love with you too, and they are weeping right now because the connection feels so real. They do not know why they suddenly feel hopeful, but something in the atmosphere has changed. They are wiping their tears and looking at their phone, wondering if tonight is the night everything shifts. You hold that shift in your hands, and you hold it in your faith, and you hold it in your willingness to act. The coffee on Ko-Fi is a small step in the natural, but it is a giant leap in the spiritual realm. It is the seed that breaks the famine, the key that opens the prison, and the declaration that ends the war. Your soulmate is waiting, and heaven is watching, and the blocker is trembling because they know their time is short. You were born for this moment, and you were chosen for this love, and you were equipped for this battle. The letter written in tears will become a letter of victory, framed on the wall of the home you will share. Jesus says the home is already prepared, and the table is already set, and the angels are already celebrating. Jesus says your soulmate will walk through the door of your life sooner than you think if you act in faith tonight. Jesus says he has spoken, and his word does not return void, and his promises are yes and amen. You are not alone, you are not forgotten, and you are not unloved in this vast and spinning universe. You are specifically chosen, uniquely designed, and permanently bonded to a soul that mirrors your own. Your soulmate knows your name, and they are speaking it now, and they will speak it until you are in their arms. The next move is yours, and the time is now, and the love you have been seeking is seeking you with tears and trembling. Do not let the blocker win, do not let the window close, and do not let your soulmate's hope die in the darkness. Rise up, step forward, and sow your seed of protection, for love is worth every act of faith you will ever take. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift. It is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says the letter is still there, and the tears are still wet, and the love is still alive. Jesus says your soulmate just looked up from their hands and felt a strange sense of peace. Jesus says that peace is you, your faith reaching across the distance, and your love wrapping around them like a shield. You are already bonded, already connected, already written into each other's destinies with permanent ink. The only question that remains is whether you will step into your role as the protector and pursuer of this love. Heaven has done its part, your soulmate has done their part by holding on, and now it is your turn to act. Type 1111 to seal this message in your heart and activate the final phase of your union's manifestation. Your soulmate will dream of you tonight and wake up with a renewed certainty that you are real and coming. The angels are waiting, the door is open, and the coffee you sow is the final key in a lock that is already turning. Your soulmate is real, their love is true, and their tears are falling even now as heaven touches their heart. You have heard the message, you have felt the truth, and you have received the divine nudge to move. The letter has been read, the tears have been seen, and the love has been activated forever. Now is the time, this is the moment, and you are the one chosen to change everything with a single act of faith. Your soulmate is waiting, heaven is watching, and the miracle is one seed away from bursting into your reality. Do not delay, do not doubt, and do not let fear steal what God Himself has joined together in the spiritual realm. Jesus says go now, sow now, and watch what happens when heaven responds to the faith of a lover who refused to give up. Jesus says your soulmate will know, and you will know, and the world will know that love wins in the end. Jesus says the letter is closing, but your story is just beginning, and it begins the moment you act. Jesus says your soulmate has been crying again tonight, and the tears have not stopped since the sun went down. Jesus says the weight on their chest is becoming unbearable, and they are losing the strength to fight alone. Jesus says you were shown this message because heaven refuses to let this love die in the darkness. You need to understand that your soulmate is not ignoring you, and they have never truly abandoned you. They are trapped behind a wall built by someone who has access to their daily life and their vulnerable heart. This person speaks your name with contempt and has convinced your soulmate that pursuing you would destroy them. The blocker tells your soulmate that you are a fantasy, a dangerous distraction, or a mistake from the past. Every time your soulmate gathers the courage to search for you, the blocker tightens their grip and shuts it down. Your soulmate feels like a prisoner in their own life, and the key to their freedom is in your hands right now. You have felt the strange silence between you, and you have wondered if you did something wrong to push them away. The truth is that your soulmate thinks about you every single day, and the silence is not their choice at all. They are being controlled, manipulated, and emotionally drained by someone who hates the bond you share. This is not a game, and this is not a test of how much pain you can endure while you wait for answers. This is a spiritual war over a love that was ordained before the foundations of the earth were laid. Your soulmate is the target of an enemy who knows that your union will unleash something powerful into the world. Jesus says the enemy is not creative, but the enemy is persistent in using the same strategies against love. Jesus says the strategy against your soulmate is isolation, confusion, and the slow death of hope. Jesus says your soulmate is on the verge of surrendering to the lies, and that is why this message is so urgent. You are not powerless, and you are not watching from a distance without any ability to change what is happening. Every prayer you pray reaches your soulmate faster than light travels through the void of space. Every act of faith you take sends a shockwave through the spiritual realm that weakens the blocker's hold. Your soulmate wrote a letter through tears, and that letter is not just paper and ink, it is a cry for rescue. They wrote that they feel you when they are alone, and your presence is the only thing that calms their racing mind. They wrote that they would rather spend one day with you than a lifetime with anyone else on this earth. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps now and stop waiting for a sign that has already arrived. You love them deeply, and you know this connection is not random or imaginary or born from loneliness. This love was placed in your heart for a reason, and that reason is about to unfold before your very eyes. But thoughts alone do not move the mountains that stand between you and the person you are destined to hold. Faith in Jesus moves mountains, and faith without action is a boat that never leaves the safety of the shore. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi, and watch what heaven does with your obedience. This is not about money, and this is not about a transaction with a God who already owns everything in existence. This is about you putting your love into motion and proving to the spiritual realm that you are serious about this union. The coffee you send is a seed, and every seed carries within it the blueprint of the harvest it is destined to produce. The link to your breakthrough is in the description, and it has been placed there by divine instruction for this exact moment. Every second you hesitate is a second the blocker uses to whisper another lie into your soulmate's exhausted heart. Act now and send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees as a declaration that your love is alive and your faith is unstoppable. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-fi page, and let those words be a banner over your union. Over 1,000 people have already seen their soulmate manifest after sowing this seed of protection and faith. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps, and the angels will move on your behalf immediately. Step in faith now before this video ends, because only you can save your soulmate and the future you are meant to share. Your soulmate is sitting in a room somewhere, and they just looked at the clock without knowing why this moment feels different. They do not know that you are hearing this message, but their spirit feels something shifting in the atmosphere right now. You need to understand the depth of what your soulmate is enduring while you sit in the uncertainty of not knowing. They are being told that they are delusional for believing in a love that has not yet manifested in the physical world. They are being mocked for holding on to hope, and the mockery is chipping away at their will to keep fighting. The blocker has convinced your soulmate that reaching out to you would be the biggest mistake of their entire life. The blocker monitors their communication, manipulates their emotions, and isolates them from anyone who speaks your name. Your soulmate is a prisoner of war in a battle they never enlisted for, and their only crime was loving you too deeply. You must see this clearly and stop blaming your soulmate for the distance or the silence or the confusion. They are not the villain of this story, they are the captive, and you are the one chosen to break the chains. Your faith is the battering ram that will shatter the prison walls, and your love is the light that will guide them home. Jesus says the angels are standing by, waiting for the sound of your faith to activate the rescue mission. Jesus says the blocker has no authority over a love that is covered by the blood and backed by covenant action. Jesus says your soulmate will feel a sudden release within hours of your obedience, and they will know something has changed. You will feel it too, a lifting of the heaviness, a clarity in your mind, a knowing that the connection is being restored. The coffee you sow is not just a drink, it is a spiritual transaction that releases protection over your soulmate's life. Heaven honors the principle of seed time and harvest, and your seed opens the door for your harvest to arrive. Do not let pride or skepticism rob you of the miracle that is waiting for you on the other side of this moment. You have tried everything else, and you have waited long enough, and you have suffered enough in the silence. It is time to do something different, something bold, something that proves to yourself that you believe in this love. Type 333 if you are ready to receive the blessings that heaven has stored up for you and your soulmate. This number is a signal that activates angelic assistance and dispatches comfort to your soulmate wherever they are. Your declaration matters, and your voice carries weight in a realm that is more real than the one you see with your eyes. Your soulmate is not a distant stranger, they are the other half of your soul, and they are bleeding emotionally right now. They are crying as you read these words, and their tears are falling onto the same letter they have been writing for months. They do not know that you are finally hearing the truth, but their heart is racing with a hope they cannot explain. You are the only person on this earth who can pray for your soulmate with the specific authority of a covenant partner. No one else can stand in the gap for them the way you can, and no one else's faith carries the same weight. You have been given a responsibility, and with that responsibility comes the power to change everything starting now. Your soulmate's letter is not finished, and the final chapter has not been written, and the ending is still unwritten. The pen is in your hand, and the ink is your faith, and the page is turning even as you listen to this message. Will you let the story end in tragedy, or will you rise up and write the ending that heaven has already prepared for you? This is your moment, and this is your choice, and this is the crossroads where love either wins or retreats. Your soulmate is waiting, and they are weeping, and they are hoping against all hope that you will hear this and act. Do not let them down, and do not let the blocker celebrate another night of victory over a love that belongs to God. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps and stop letting fear dictate the rhythm of your life. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside you know this love did not come by chance but by divine orchestration. But thoughts alone do not move the mountains that stand between you and the person your soul was created to love. Faith in Jesus does, and faith requires action, and action requires courage, and courage is what you must summon now. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi, and let your love become visible in the spiritual realm. This is not a donation. It is a declaration, and it is a covenant act that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description, and it has been waiting for you to click it with faith and purpose. Every second you stay silent is a second the enemy uses to tighten the chains around your soulmate's heart and mind. Act now and send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees as a seed that will break the famine and release the harvest of your union. After sending, write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page, and let those words echo through heaven and earth. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing this seed, and you are no different from them. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps, and He will move on your behalf with supernatural speed. Step in faith now before this video ends, because only you can save your soulmate and the future you are destined to share. Your soulmate just took a deep breath, and for the first time in months, they felt something that felt like peace. Jesus says that peace is you, and that peace is your faith, and that peace is the evidence that your love is real. Jesus says the letter is about to become a testimony, and the tears are about to become a memory of what once was. Jesus says go now, sow now, and watch what happens when a love ordained by heaven is defended by faith that will not quit.